Good afternoon, everybody. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie, I am feeling tired, a little worn out. I made the mistake of going out and having a couple drinks with a friend of mine, and ended up having a couple more than I probably should have, and then totally forgetting about the fact that I had to be up at 5 in the morning to deal with some work stuff, which that's what that alert's about right now, or work stuff, anyways. Yeah. Aside from that, had a very relaxing weekend, which was fantastic. I think it's exactly what I was needing. Just wanted to get away from things for a bit and have some me time. Typically, what I used to do when I needed that type of thing is like go and game, and Xbox One's what I typically game on. Originally, the Xbox, and I just have to say, I miss having the time to do that. Like, I used to love gaming, and some of you who are subscribed to my channel are actually part of my original gaming group that we used to all be a part of. And yeah, it's just. And the funny thing about that is that I noticed that everybody, and I've said this before in another video, um, everybody's lives are all developing, right? So, you never expect something to always last, especially with a group. But I mean, the good thing is we're all on our social media. We get to stay in touch. Some of you are actually on my BBM with my BlackBerry, so that's just another way that this phone always helps me stay in touch with people, because I don't like downloading apps. I'm not big on apps, and it's pre-built in there, and it's just fantastic. But yeah, so I got to get away for the weekend, kind of spent time with my mom, spent time with my wife, ate a lot of food, so I'm kind of still full, I guess, now. No, I'm just kidding. But the fact I was able to do that and just have a nice, relaxing day, the good thing with my business is I've hired somebody who is kind of doing the managing of my crews, so the managing of my employees, so that way it's freeing up a lot of time for me to be able to focus on other things involved with the business, and also just alleviating a lot of stress that was starting to develop on with me. And on all honesty, I mean, it's just such a great thing being able to have this person helping me the way he is, and of course I'm paying him for it, but the cost is worth the lack of stress that I'm having to deal with, which is fantastic, because for a while there, especially with starting your own business, it is stressful. Like, it does get stressful. um, yeah, no. So now I'm not so stressed, and my wife is all happy about it as well. She's like, "Oh, you're not stressed anymore." Because when I get focused on something, I literally just focus on that thing until I can figure out what is going on. But it was just so overwhelmed with just the mad rush of everything, and it just got to the point where yeah, I just started getting stressed. That's the best way I can describe it. And the thing was is that it was affecting me in different ways too. Like, wasn't sleeping as much, which I'm used to because I naturally have insomnia, so that's not really an issue for me. But the fact that it was getting so bad, there was one time where I worked for, oh my god, I think just a month straight, day in day out, from Monday, Sunday, like just all week, all day, 16 to 18-hour days. And it got to the point that one day I went and helped out with one job, finished that, got home, and then I just got this. My body shut down. It was like, you know what? Go lay. I laid down and I passed out for, oh God, 14 hours, because I went to sleep at 6 and then slept throughout the whole night, the whole thing, and that was a clear indication to me that I was just overworking myself. And when I originally hired this guy to help me out, he was just supposed to be doing a couple things, but then he just started gradually taking these things over, and finally we had the discussion, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to do this." I'm like, "Okay, well, this is what I need you to do," and yeah, so it's going there. Every once in a while, I mean, I've got this phone. This phone was big help with my business. Even the BlackBerry Classic that I have, which is what I originally was using, was such a big help. Just all the scheduling, all the features on this. I mean, when I enter in anything on my calendars on my Mac, it automatically goes to the phone. I don't have to enter it in a second time, and that to me is just so handy to have, and it's really good with how all the platforms are crossing over. The other thing too is, like, even socially. I mean, this phone's great. I mean, Facebook. Everyone knows that Facebook's a little dodgy on BlackBerry. Now, what a lot of people I don't think realize is because of all the little features that Facebook has. Like, if you look at the app for Facebook on iPhone and then the app on this, I mean, this is a really archaic app. I see a lot of comments with people saying that they have issues getting their messages. Now, me personally, I haven't had any issues with the Facebook app on my BlackBerry. The only time I ever had an issue with it was when I logged out and I couldn't log back in for some reason. So I had to go and change my password. That was the only time I've ever had an issue with it. Aside from that, I use both the mobile site and also the Facebook app for BlackBerry. And I do notice that there are a lot of posts that don't even show up in the app, which, you know, in all honesty, I kind of expect that because I've had my iPhone, I've had my Samsungs, and they all do the same thing. Where if I go on the live site, I still see like posts that don't even show up on those platforms. So it's not just BlackBerry. It's not just that. But the other thing too is I think BlackBerry actually has a lot more security on the Facebook app than all the other phones do. So that to me is probably why they're not changing it too much, because who knows? I really don't have an answer for that. But me personally, I don't mind the Facebook app on BlackBerry. Again, I mean, do I miss a couple statuses? Yeah, but I'll go and check later on. It's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world for me. Although I find Twitter works quite well. Speaking of Twitter, there's a conversation going on in my BBM group about Bart, who decided to start going onto Twitter. And, you know, the good thing is now I've got some more followers who are actually active followers, which is good because I don't even know who half these people are on my Twitter, like from my previous years, and they don't ever tweet anything. So I think they're just like ghost accounts. Who knows? I'm not exactly too sure, but it's good because my alerts came in right away, so then I started following everybody who started following me since I put on my Twitter handle, which was in the BBM group. And in all honesty, I wasn't making this a vlog, but I'm going to do a mix of a vlog and tech stuff. This is my OEM case that I got for my passport, in case you're wondering why the passport looks different. And I do have to say, it's not a case made for stopping damage to happen to the phone if you drop it. But what it does do is it actually got these little grooves here, so I can actually put the phone flat on a surface, which I really, really like, because then I can use some of the advanced settings for features, like when I put the phone down, it goes into like a power saving mode, and when I lift the phone back up, it'll automatically turn itself on, and so I can see everything. But what was I getting at with that whole thing? I forgot. Oh yeah. So one thing I do love about this, and I was mentioning the BBM group, is a thing I've always loved about BBM is that it connects you to people that you would not ordinarily meet or even talk with, because there was no cause for you to cross paths. And that's one thing I do have to say about BlackBerry and BBM, and why I've always enjoyed BBM, is I've always been able to interact with people from everywhere in the world. I've got friends that are in New York. I've got friends that are in, like, I just went blank there. California, sorry, Thailand, the Philippines, Japan. With those time zones, though, that really is limited conversations that I can have. But since I start my day so early, sometimes it makes it that I'm able to chat more with them. But even still. But again, another bonus feature is to what BlackBerry does for people. And I mean, you know, there's ways to get more contacts for BBM, joining groups, even general chats or channels, even going on Twitter and entering in like searches for people who are sharing their BBM pins. And yeah, just yet another fantastic way that BlackBerry helps people out. Aside from that, I'm not going to really drag this on, since I'm looking at the timer right now and it says I've already been talking for 8 minutes and 26 seconds as of right now. So if you did watch all the way through this, thank you very much. Thank you to the people who have subscribed to my channel. I did not notice that I had comments on one or two of my other videos, so I am going to try to reply on that. Speaking of one comment that I saw, David, shut up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad you actually got a chance to take a look at it. And no, I will not be going 3 times a week, because as of proof of last week when I posted those videos, I just don't have the time. But that is what it is, and hopefully I will have more time. But until then, hope everyone has a good week, and I will see you soon. Well, you'll see me soon, because I don't know all of your YouTube channels if you have them. But if you do have them, feel free to let me know, and I will subscribe, so that way we can see each other soon. Bye.